Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Sundays with the Sprinkles, December 21st or 22nd. What do I usually do? Do I usually do the Sunday or do I usually do the Saturday? I can't even remember.
I thought you did Sunday.
Okay.
I thought you did Saturday.
Sunday, December 22nd, Saturday, December 21st. Hello, boys. Brandon Shanahan, Trevor Murphy with us, as always. What's going on, my slimes?
Not much
Best day of the
fun.
year.
I feel like I just woke up a half hour ago.
Best day of the year. Just give you a little preview. Broncos disappoint us on Christmas once again. College football playoff pandemonium. First weekend is here. We already saw one game last night, Indiana, Notre Dame. I know Brandon has some strong opinions about that one. We might have a little NBA talk with Trevor Murphy, our resident NBA insider. And Tyler Sprinkle might join us if he's done diarrheaing out of both ends of his body. But first things first. And just to set the stage, what I do usually Friday night before I go to bed, I'm scrolling Twitter, and then I see this account, Brandon Shanahan's account, at Shanaman.
At Shanaman.
At Shanaman. Brandon's always fired up about something. What I love about Brandon, he's always willing to get in the fucking mud, always willing to get in the dirt, doesn't give a fuck about anybody. And last night's topic, subject of choice was the college football playoff, and did Indiana deserve to be in? There are a lot of people saying straight the schedule. They played a cupcake schedule, but at the end of the year, they won 11 games. And the teams that like Ole Miss, and I saw fucking Lane Kiffin's lame ass saying they should have been in it. Alabama and South Carolina, they lost 3 games to conference opponents. So Brandon, I'm going to you first. Just talk to me about it. What how are you feeling?
Well, there's a couple of myths going around. One, the myth is that strength of schedule doesn't matter. It very much does matter, and it's very clear in that. If Alabama had gone 11-1, just like Indiana, Alabama gets in over Indiana. Simple as that. If they go 10-2, like if they just lose to Vanderbilt and Tennessee, they're in over Indiana still, even with another loss. Now a third loss, that's almost half of your conference games. Let's also not forget they play Mercer in November. So strength of schedule matters, just not when you lose nearly half of your conference games. Also, yeah, the game wasn't very competitive. So are most of the college football playoff games we've ever seen. They're almost all blowouts. There's a lot of pointing and laughing going on about Kurt Signetti and his comments. But yeah, in the end, even if they got shellacked 65-7, they deserve to be in. 11 wins in a power conference should get you in. And what people should be mad about is these super conferences that allows a team like Indiana to avoid most of the good teams in the conference, like Texas to avoid most of the good teams in the conference. And they get this patty cake schedule, and they go on to win 11 games. That's the issue here that nobody wants to talk about. Is the super conferences are the problem, and not the strength of schedule.
No, yeah, I couldn't agree with you more because, I mean, if you have a conference that if your conference doesn't allow you to play at least, I want to say, honestly, if your conference doesn't allow you to play every single team in that conference within a season, your conference is too damn big. So it's not Indiana's fault that their schedule lined up the way it did. What they did was ended up winning their games. They didn't lose to Vanderbilt. They didn't lose to Kentucky. But you know who did? They didn't lose to Oklahoma by 27 points just 3 weeks ago. But you know who did? The teams that are arguing that they should have been in that spot in the first place. So I just don't understand where they fucking get the nerve to say, no, this should have been us. It's like, buddy, you had your shot. Like literally everybody's audition was the last fucking 12, 13 weeks. And they didn't make the audition. They didn't make the cut.
Well, like the argument is, oh, well, South Carolina would have beat Indiana, or Alabama would have beat Indiana. What happened to the 12 best teams? That's not how playoffs work in any other sport of all time. Like, why is that suddenly the threshold? It's always been the most deserving teams. It's the most deserving teams in the NFL. If you win more games than the other team, you get better standing depending on, doesn't matter what your strength of schedule is. Doesn't matter if you get a feast on the NFC South or if you have to go up against the NFC North. Like, it doesn't matter. Who wins the more games? Same thing in the NBA, as I'm sure Trevor will allude to later as our NBA expert. Like, that's how playoffs work, is the teams who win the most games get into the playoffs. And now we've built the system that has some nuance and some context to factor in a 10-2 Alabama team versus an 11-1 Indiana team. But, I mean, once you get to 3 losses, you're out of luck. Don't lose 3 games. That's almost a quarter of your season, half your conference games. And for a league that only plays 8 conference games.
No, that's true. That's 100% true. And it kind of like, and I like your point because, like, yeah, in the NFL, it's like saying, oh, yeah, no, Joe Burrow's having an MVP season. He should be in the playoffs no matter what, even though their team is fucking dog shit. It's like, no, that's not. It's literally not how it works.
Well, through the eye test, they're one of the 8 best teams in the AFC.
Yeah, that's what they say. No, that's just not how it works. You have to beat the teams you play on your schedule. One team didn't, the other teams did not, and that's why they are where they are. And you're 100% right about the college football playoff because the games are. I mean, fucking, how many college football games are actually competitive anyway? You know, there's a lot of it's not the NFL where a lot of games end in one score. No, a lot of games end in two or three scores, and it's just absolutely ridiculous that people are just fucking cherry picking stuff just because it doesn't fit their narrative. But I guess that's the internet.
And it's the same thing with TCU a couple of years ago. Yeah, they got their teeth kicked in by Georgia in the national championship. They're also the only team in 29 games to beat Michigan. Like, the only reason why they got to play Georgia is because they beat that fraudulent Michigan team on a neutral field. Like, what are we talking about?
I like it. Trevor, did you watch the game last night?
I did. I unfortunately watched it with a Notre Dame fan, my brother.
Oh no.
So come back. You know, I got to agree as well. I hate to agree. You know, I like to be the devil's advocate here, but I don't believe Indiana.
Oh, Mr. Devil.
I don't believe Indiana should have been there. Notre Dame should have played Alabama, like I've been calling since 1 week ago. I am that guy that is always on Alabama's side. You know, I just feel like we got robbed. Anyways, I don't want to dwell on that. You know, the past is the past. But
Alabama Jones Jr.
Indiana did not look great. But, you know, I want to look at like Boise State's schedule, see who they played. Did they play teams that, you know, are cupcake teams in their conference, or who do they, you know, do they play like a Western Michigan or like a, you know, Montana State or something? Like, are these teams that they played just really bad?
Oh yeah, I can answer that question real quick. Because Tyler brought up the argument that the Mountain West isn't that far off from the Big 12. There are 4 teams in the Mountain West with a winning record. So the Mountain West, playing shitty Mountain West teams like the University of Nevada at Las Vegas, like San Jose State, like San Diego State, couldn't even beat enough of those teams to get a winning season. So Boise State had a dog shit schedule. Arizona State had a soft schedule. Indiana had a soft schedule. Texas has a soft schedule. Can't forget about Texas.
I think they might lose today. And I think they're real. I think they might be the first upset. Texas.
I could see it.
I just, you know, I'm rooting for Big Ten teams, of course.
Of course.
You know, it just,
except for Indiana.
I guess I was kind of rooting for Indiana just to come back. You know, I'm like, hey, if Nebraska fucking got whooped by them, I'd rather them be the fucking best in the whole league, you know, I'd rather lose to the champs instead of fucking lose to someone who fucking gets whooped up by a coach who has, you know, black tar on his forehead because he's going bald. You know what I mean? Is that Marcus Freeman? Can you pull up that picture?
Wait, what picture?
Marcus Freeman, is that their coach, the Notre Dame coach?
Marcus Freeman, black tar? Is that? Are you sure this is not Ash Wednesday?
No, dude. He had his head, his fucking hair filled in because he's going bald.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's bad. It might have been kind of, you know, fabricated a little bit, but the photo I've seen is pretty creepy.
This photo, because it'd be fucking hilarious. Hold on, I'm pulling it up right now. Un momento, por favor. Is it this photo?
No.
I thought Indiana was the biggest fraud in the college football playoff until I saw Marcus Freeman's hairline. What is it?
It's not that good, but no, there's another photo of him. Yeah, it's like him in a press conference.
Black tar.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, I see it now.
Oh, you mean that black tar?
Yeah, dude. It's like really black. It's like someone took, like, they're filling in potholes and stuff, Just give me some of that.
Give me that. That's so fucking funny. He just goes ahead, all the asphalt just rubs his head in it. It's like, all right, let's go on TV.
Yeah. He like, goes in for a dap or whatever, and you come back, you're like sticking to him and shit. It's like, what the hell? But no, I mean, imagine losing to that guy, which is tough because Indiana had a great season. They historic season, may I add. They're no longer were they a basketball team?
It used to be.
So now, or a basketball school. Yeah, now they're a football school, at least for this year. I smoked probably 16 cartons of cigarettes in honor of Signetti because you have to.
Good for you. Yeah.
And what does that say? To be a mystery. See, why can't I get shit like this on my Twitter? I just get the raunchy shit on my Twitter.
So first and foremost, that's a top tier lid, and we need to give it the respect that it's due because I mean that's just phenomenal. But Shane Gillis calling him Alabama Jones is so fucking funny.
Yeah, like Indiana Jones. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Speaking of, actually, we know one thing we haven't talked about at all is the fact that this wasn't like this is the first road game in the college football playoffs for a team, but it's also, or first, I guess, home game, but also not really because both teams play in Indiana. So it's kind of a fraud home game.
Yeah. And I was asking my, my resident Notre Dame fan, the only Notre Dame fan I know, my brother, I go, what's the stadium named? Like, what's the stadium called? Like we got Memorial Stadium, we got Memorial Stadium, and I think there's one, I think it's called Memorial Stadium. And all these teams play like different Memorial Stadiums. It's not the same one, but he's like, yeah, it's just Notre Dame Stadium. I'm like, how fucking lame.
That is lame.
And
lame as fuck, homie.
But he surprised me. He knew all the names, all these guys. He's like, oh, that guy was from Omaha. This guy was a redshirt freshman, and I'm like, you actually pay attention to this shit? Like, insane. And I go, oh, they have names on their backs because Notre Dame is notorious for not having names on the back of their jerseys. And he's like, oh, yeah. Whenever they get these special jerseys, they put their names on the back. So I'm curious why they did that or why they only do that for big games.
There is one thing that is a really bad look for Curt Cignetti, and I don't dislike him. I think he is he's a very good recruiter. He's able to bring in a lot of transfers, and that's why I think he's going to be very successful. That's why he is a very successful college coach. Talking all that shit and punting down 17 with 10 minutes left to go is a tough look for anybody. And if you're sitting there in your first college football playoff game ever, win or go home, and you're sitting there worried about getting blown out because you go for it on fourth in your own territory, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what we're doing here. That's the one.
Defense was playing pretty well too. So it's like even if you don't get it, it's not like they're going to score a 20-point touchdown.
No, agreed. But like, it's just you'd rather. I mean, it's still a 3-score game. I would rather cut it to 2 scores if I possibly can. It's like what Denver did the other day, and I don't think this is similar at all. It's just an example. Like a lot of people are saying Denver should have went for it on 4th and 5 with I think it was 4 or 5 minutes left to go. Instead, they punted them, pinned them back inside the 10. A lot of people are saying, wow, I can't believe Sean Payton didn't go for that. That's an all-time like surrender punt or whatever the fuck it is. Like, no, like you have the defense is playing well. You're only down by 1 score. All you need is 1 stop. But the Indiana needed more than 1 stop. And like, so, and Notre Dame could have had, has a chance to run more time out the clock that you need because you need 3 scores. You need 3 possessions at least. You got to go for it there, I think.
For sure.
That's just ball, dude. That's honestly, Brett, I think you need to start talking to these coaches, or they maybe need to start listening to this podcast because down 3 scores, I think you go for, the points and you go and try to pick up the first down. I don't know if anyone's ever thought that. This might be a Sunday with the Sprinkles exclusive, so I appreciate you bringing that to the table.
I mean, somebody has to, and I'm glad I'm the person to do it. Anything for the listeners, anything for the world.
A lot of
we got a full
don't know ball.
A lot of these coaches, well, yeah, a lot of them don't. That's true. The OG Fortnite. So Tyler is Tyler. So Tyler, like I said, he's bookieing. He's boo-booing right now. He is following along, and Tyler said the OG Fortnite Sopranos Big Pussy Award goes to Kurt Signetti. So congratulations, the inaugural award for that one. Everyone, round of applause. That's big. That's big. So hey, at least Indiana won something this year.
Yeah, good for
It's
them.
not like the show was or it's not like this year was a total loss. Big slate of college football games today, though. SMU Penn State kicks off the games. That's going to be on TNT and Max, which I was surprised by.
Max, dude, why are they spreading the wealth? I mean, it's like, can I just watch a game on fucking CBS, ABC? You know.
Well, so I have some insight. So ESPN has the rights to all the CFP games, but they're also running out of money. So like I guess we have to sell some of these games off to Turner and to whoever is willing to give us the most shillings.
I mean, I like it when you sell it to like streaming services that I actually have. So like I'm stoked for it.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, you give them to Peacock. I'm like, dude, come on. I'm not gonna do that.
Running out of email addresses here.
Yeah, dude, ridiculous. Like it's ridiculous. Yeah, so Penn State, SMU kicks off at noon. Then Clemson and Texas at 4, and then Tennessee, Ohio State at 8. That's going to be Brandon. How do you feel how that game's going to go? Because I'm kind of torn. Like Ohio State, they've had a few weeks to simmer on that Michigan loss. Tennessee, I think, is a very good ball club, but I don't think they're there yet. I don't know what to make of it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to go into these games just being excited. I don't have any expectations. I'm rooting for the dogs. It's kind of one of those days where I'm always rooting for the team who's trailing to come back. Because I mean, in that game specifically, if Ohio State loses, that's hilarious because they're going to fire their coach who's won 95% of their games for the last 5 years. Just to hire Mike Vrabel. And then SMU and Penn State. I mean, oh boy, I love all these games. And who's the 2:30 game? Is that Texas Clemson?
That's 4:00. Yeah, Texas Clemson.
4 o'clock. I love it.
3:00. 3:00 Central Time.
Because I mean, if there's a team that should be banging the table about strength of schedule, it should be Clemson. Hey, we scheduled South Carolina. We scheduled Georgia. We should be in the college football playoff. Now they won their conference, so it doesn't matter. But nonetheless,
do you think that if Clemson beats Texas, then that's going to make the people who think Alabama and all them who think they should have got in? Do you think it's going to make it worse, or do you think it's going to make it so much more unbearable? I feel like.
I mean, it would make logical sense. Like, hey, the team who actually did make it through the SEC, only losing to one team, is actually fraudulent and got beat up by a Clemson team who got blown out by Georgia, blown out by South Carolina, and lights got too bright for your SEC runner-up. So that would make sense that they would be like, okay, maybe the SEC just isn't as strong this year because it's not. But maybe they would finally get through their thick inbred skulls. But it won't. It won't. They'll be just as obnoxious. They'll be like, this is why Ole Miss should have gotten in over Texas or whatever. Because then the strength of schedule argument goes out the window because Texas hasn't beaten a single ranked team. They stink.
Yeah, and their legacy is on the line a little bit right here in this one because they played 2 top 5 teams, both of them Georgia, and they got beat by them both times. Quinn Ewers looked like absolute shit both times. So I mean, it's definitely a Quinn Ewers legacy game, if anything.
For sure. And I mean, not like a legacy like it's going to bolster his legacy, but like to save any bit of notoriety.
Because with how shitty this – go ahead.
Another scenario I'm rooting for is Texas to win, then Texas to beat Georgia. So Georgia has beaten this team 2 times this season, and none of the games that actually matter. Because that's important.
Yeah, that would be kind of funny too.
So I don't like rooting for Texas, but that to me would be funny. It's like, oh, congrats, you beat us in Austin. Oh, congrats, you beat us in Atlanta, but we lost. You couldn't beat us in the Sugar Bowl. So now
That
your
would be
season's
great.
done.
I like that. I like that a lot.
What's this? What's that mean? What is schlorp?
I don't know. It just looks like a Jets drinking water, and the fucking caption says "slorp, slorp, slorp, slorp." I don't know. I thought it was fucking hilarious.
I love it.
It's one of my favorite things I've ever seen.
Got nothing to do with football, does it? Or
No.
Okay.
Look, no. Brandon, I figured out a long time ago. If you just treat this podcast like TikTok, it actually works. Just put like random shit on the screen while we're talking ball.
Yeah,
people are just fucking enthralled.
We get Temple Run.
Temple
Temple Run. Yeah.
GTA fucking highlights.
I did like this. From at Truly Donovan, some elite names on the floor in the Cincy Dayton game. Jizzle James, defensive rebound.
Let me read.
Go ahead.
We got. Hold on. We got Jizzle James, Malachi Smith,
Malachi,
Aziz Bondogo, Day Thomas, and Enoch Cheek. What the fuck?
elite
names.
Just
hey, you know what?
Phenomenal.
They're getting didn't yeah, okay. 2 scores. So 2 of them scored. That's great for them. I'm glad.
Actually, none of them scored.
3-point jumper. Oh, so that okay.
Missed.
No, so there's no points. So no,
Missed. Just a wild 30 seconds in that game. Yeah, it's gonna be a good day. We also have some NFL football today, boys. There's also a Madden simulcast. I don't know if you guys saw that or know anything about that. Have you guys heard it? Have you guys seen it? Seen what that's supposed to be about? So the Texans Chiefs game is going to stream on. It's going to be on NBC. It's going to stream on Peacock, and then they're also going to do a Madden simulcast along with that. So there's going to be Chad Ochocinco and fucking somebody else playing Madden.
I'll bring a hologram
with the game. Madden.
So are they playing the game, or is it just kind of like that Toy Story thing where it's just converted over to Madden
like
animation?
Blitz type graphics, or
I'm gonna pull this up.
We need answers.
Yep. How to watch Texans versus Chiefs. Schedule and matchup stream info. Okay. This afternoon, exclusively on Peacock, will feature live virtual Madden 25 graphics, route tree, play cards, player ratings, blending. I think it's going to be similar to what the Simpsons cast was, and like similar to what the Toy Story cast was, where it's going to be a little delayed, and then once they have the play, it they'll show what it was like, kind of in Madden, like animated and shit. Get Florio out of here. Preview of the game. Will he play? Paul Burmeister and Kurt Benkert. Shout out. It's going to be Chad Ochocinco, Henry Levert. I don't know who that is.
Levert.
Okay, that's all the information we get. Yeah, so apparently there's going to be it's just going to be a Madden cast that goes along with it because thank God for that. Am I right, boys?
I'm stoked.
I couldn't be less excited. Yeah, I couldn't be less excited about something.
Did you see Kornheiser shitting on college football for taking up this Saturday?
No.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I did actually. Yeah, college football plays in the day college football usually plays on. Now they're going after the NFL.
I know it. God, how dare the college football try to infringe on this beautiful winter Saturday?
Yeah, and I honestly didn't understand why they were playing on this Saturday. Then I realized that every single one of these teams is playing today is going to be playing on Wednesday. So just now it kind of just makes sense. So it gives them, it's basically like a Thursday game for them on, you know what I mean? Short week stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wednesday games.
So I guess that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, they got to go after the NBA somehow. And Trevor, you're going to get to it later. The NBA is they're kind of losing viewers. The product isn't there on the court anymore.
We're not talking about
but that's another preview. No, we're teasing it. We're just going to keep teasing it. All the way through.
That's a good simulcaster, color commentator. As a good color commentator would. Brandon alluded to it as well. Instead of circling back, he circled forward as a good color commentator.
Just a little peek into the future.
Yeah, just he said,
peeking.
let me get my booty diggers in there. You know,
Just a little preview of what JJ Watt's on today.
Coffee made,
as we head
schedule
into-
cleared, food ordered. This motherfucker can't just like cook his own food. Sweats on. Let's have a darn day. I can't read that word. Are these?
Thank you for censoring yourself.
Burnley versus Watford? Is that lacrosse or what is that?
No, that's Premier League. We're not worried about that. But SMU,
yeah.
Penn State, Texans, Chiefs, Clemson, Texas, Steelers, Ravens, Tennessee, Ohio State, and circling forward like a good color commentator would, Trevor Murphy. Big game between the Steelers and the Ravens tonight. Could be a battle for the AFC North. People are asking, are the Steelers up to the task?
Yes.
All right, that's Steelers Ravens talk.
Agreed, yeah.
Moving on.
Yes. Yeah, I think they are. Because I was in the huddle before the game, and I took
Was that weird walkthrough huddle that Russell Wilson does on air, where he mimics like quieting the crowd and like hyping himself up?
Yeah. Yeah. So I was in the huddle, and I said, as I looked at each man in the eye, I go, hey, wise word from JJ Watt. I said, dream big, work hard. And they all got fired up. So, and then I said, I said to him, coffee made. I said, schedule cleared, food ordered, sweats on, can't lose.
Can't lose. Can't fucking lose.
Have you guys finished all your Christmas shopping yet?
Absolutely.
I just need some gift cards.
Okay.
But
have you? I take it you
haven't. I haven't started.
Okay. Yep. That's good. So is today a mall day? Is today gonna be a mall day, or is that you gonna wait till Monday?
I wanted to carve out some time today, but
you're looking at the schedule right there.
Yeah, I'm like I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it to Target today.
Sorry, no Christmas gifts. I'm watching ball.
The NFL had to schedule games on Saturday. Sorry.
It's not my fault, dude. It's not my fault.
Oh. But circling back as good businessmen, we should talk about Thursday. What a fun 30 minutes that was. Well, what a fun 29 minutes that was till it all went to shit. Talk about the Broncos Chargers, of course. We were running it down their throats, pushing it down their fucking neck, running the ball well. We were, had some good RPOs. And then all of a sudden I blame fucking, who was it? Audric Estime with 13 seconds left. Bo Nix tries to dump it down to him, and he just fucking backpedals and falls over like he doesn't know how to fucking use his two legs, and then it stops the clock with 13 seconds left, and then we run the ball on third down. Chargers call timeout, and then everything just goes to shit right after that, and it fucking pissed me off. This?
Yeah,
that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, a historically cowardly punt. So very impressive stuff. Yeah, it all just kind of fell apart, and I felt like I was watching a Nebraska game for the Knights. Where I was just like, okay, we're playing the better ball, and shit down our leg. It's the first time that I've let the Broncos affect my emotions this year. And
me too, actually.
Okay, yeah. It was a bad time to tip my toe back in the water.
Sometimes you have to secede the win for the better tweets, right? So if you guys won that, it would have been like, hey, good game, Broncos. Nice try, Chargers. But
that would have been awesome.
Yeah, it would have been pretty good.
It wouldn't have been as funny. Instead, you get a funny tweet like this one, and that would not have been made if the Broncos won. So I think there's a silver lining here. If you guys want to think about that, I don't know. I'm just putting my 2 cents in. I know you guys are kind of sad, but
I mean that's fair. But I would like to have a season where my favorite football team is not the laughing stock I know Nebraska's the laughing stock of college football for how they lose games. The Broncos are the laughing stock of the NFL for the most cowardly punts of all time. I would just like the season where like they're not all pointing and laughing at my favorite teams.
But no, this is what I was fucking. No, this is the reference I just made talking about the Kurt Signetti thing. This is not like I fuck you in this analytic because that's not. The Broncos defense is playing very well. 4th and 6, we weren't moving the ball at all in the second half. We have a really good defense. You rely on your defense. That's what we did against fucking the Browns. That's what we did against the Colts. We were expecting our defense to make a play, but every time we tried to make a play, we committed a penalty instead, and we just kept playing cover. I don't know what zone coverage we were playing, but it was the wrong fucking zone coverage because we were just leaving guys wide open the entire fucking second half, and it was so frustrating to watch. And the defense just couldn't get a stop at all, and that run defense was fucking atrocious. And we went into that game with a 92% chance of making the playoffs, win and get in. Essentially, that's all we had to do is win and get in. Still, just need to win one game, but we have fucking games against the Bengals who are still alive thanks to us, and then we have the fucking Chiefs to end the season. And how fucking fun would that be if the Chiefs just ruined our lives one more fucking time? Yeah, with Carson Wentz at quarterback of all fucking people, like they're gonna sit their starters, they'll still beat us probably, and we're not gonna make the playoffs. It's gonna be so fucking mad. I'm gonna be so mad.
I am just kind of confused on where you're getting this impression that the Broncos defense was playing well. They gave up almost 400 yards. Like they weren't.
No, they weren't. No, they've been playing well all season. Yeah, they've been getting gashed against the last 3 weeks specifically. But who's been out those last 3 weeks is fucking Riley Moss. We need our king back, the savior of this defense, savior of the Orange Crush, the anonymous crush as John Gruden calls him. Yeah, we've been getting gashed, but we've been making plays when we need them. AKA, Nick Benito's been making plays when we need them. I fucking love that guy, Casa Benito. Just loves making house calls, but he was fucking non-existent in that game. And yeah, there was a lot of calls that went the Chargers' way, especially in the second half. And the Broncos got away with one in the second quarter. That I don't know what that I don't know why that flag got picked up for illegal man downfield when Quinn Meinerz was literally in the end zone blocking somebody, blocking a linebacker. But hey, I was like, hey, fuck it, dude, why not? This game is going our way. And then it just after that, the ref was like, wait a second, this is getting too weird. You can blame that pass interference or the not pass interference no call against Marvin Mims on that same drive that this tweet is referring to. I think Bo Nix has got to throw a better ball there. Marvin Mims had his guy fucking beat by a mile. The fact that he had to wait and let the guy catch up, I think, is a little atrocious. I get wanting to complete the pass, but you got to lay it out there, let your guy go get it. And it wasn't like Bo Nix. It looks like the Chargers are playing cover 4 that entire fucking second half. So he was dinking and dunking a lot. And it was just so fucking frustrating that we couldn't get anything open down the field.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. I think two things can be true at the same time. One, that was a horrible missed pass interference call. And also that's not the reason why the Denver Broncos lost that game.
Agreed.
I'm seeing that thrown out a lot. Is that's the reason why the Broncos lost. No, the Broncos lost because the lights got too bright and they weren't ready to play. Or they weren't ready to finish the game, at least. And I don't know what the difference was with those first 3 drives and then the rest of the game.
Yeah, no, it's just like the Chargers woke up and said, wait a second, we can push these little boys around. And it's so crazy how much my week can be affected by 5 grown men and their inability to push 5 other grown men off of the line of scrimmage. But god damn it, did it just fucking affect my mood this week. Because our offensive line, you can talk about them being in the 100th percentile for pass protection. They can't fucking push anybody around. There's a bunch of fucking weak pussies up there. I don't know what else to say about it. Because that was just a pitiful performance. The Chargers were better than us. They knew it. They're the tougher team, mentally tougher. You can talk about Sean Payton and his culture. Well, how's that culture working out for us now? People are blaming Sean Payton for opting into this game. I like the move. It's a little bit of gamesmanship because, for the first 30 minutes, we were blowing them out. They also had to play on a short week, so it wasn't like any team was at a disadvantage. But now we have extra time to prepare for basically the game of our season against the Bengals. We have an entire week plus 2 days, so 7 plus 2 equals 9. Trevor, I know you were trying to do the math there. We have 9 days, whereas the Bengals are only going to have 6 days to prepare for basically a game that's going to decide their season. It's going to be a big day. Extra preparation, extra rest. It's going to be good for us, hopefully, going into the playoffs. But We talked about it last year, Brandon. The Broncos love to let us down on Christmas, and this was just another instance of that. There it is. 2 = 9.
I am just happy that we're not actually playing on Christmas.
Agreed.
Like I'll never forget
Would've been
that
bad.
Russell Wilson. Well, it was a Russell Wilson Rams game, and I have to hear Patrick Starr is just aghast at how horrible Russell Wilson was as a Denver Bronco with Nathaniel Hackett. And
Did you guys know that Patrick Starr has a new show?
No.
is he really?
Yeah. They
I gotta look this up.
he's got his own spin-off show. I'm not lying. I didn't watch it, but I saw it on the YouTube TV.
Sounds like you watched it. Trevor, be honest with me, Trevor. Hey, podcast is off. You watched it, right?
Did you stop the streaming?
Yeah, we're stopped.
Yeah, we stopped the stream. Yeah, stream's off. You watched it, right?
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go, dude. I see Patrick Crypto Star. Is that what it is? Is it a show about crypto secrets in Bikini Bottom?
No.
Patrick's adventure
okay.
investing in
That's not
Hawkcoin.
it.
No. Patrick Starr.
Patrick lost his rock on
All right,
Hawkcoin.
y'all. I'm gonna go to bed. I'll talk to you later. Yeah, no, I don't see Patrick's show. I don't know. I think you might have made it up.
The Patrick Starr show.
I mean, good for you, dude, because
3 seasons, dude. It started in 2021.
and you're just telling us about it. And you've been watching for 3 seasons. You didn't say anything until now. What the hell?
Patrick, who continues to reside with his quirky relatives, produces a program that revolves around his constantly evolving interests and impulses. You know, it kind of sounds like this podcast.
That's fair. That's fair.
You know, it kind of sounds like the description of this podcast.
Speaking of which, Trevor Murphy developed a new interest in the NBA very recently, and he's going to tell us all about it a little bit later, coming up shortly. But continuing our NFL talk, continuing our NFL talk. Can the Broncos? Oh, the Broncos can still clinch this weekend. Need the Bengals to lose, need the Dolphins to lose, and the Broncos clinch. But that's just going to be a sad clinch, and I don't know if I can get up for it. Not yet. All right. Speaking of the Chiefs, after almost needing his ankle amputated, Patrick Mahomes is just fine again. Crazy how that works. He's the biggest milker in the world. I love that, actually.
It's very, very good ambiance.
I like that. Yeah.
Also, good opportunity for any Geo streamers to dox Trevor Murphy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait a second. Wait, hold on. Let me zoom in. Wait, what tree is that? Elm? Oh, that's oak. That's pine. Ooh, that's Omaha, Nebraska.
Bang.
Yeah, so Patrick Mahomes, Sunday we thought his ankle was going to have to be amputated. Carson Wentz was the guy moving forward. Patrick Mahomes, 5 days later, cleared to play, 100% good to go. Crazy how that happens.
I know, crazy that maybe he's not actually as hurt as he makes everybody believe he is.
Ever. It's absolutely preposterous that people just let him get away with this, lying to them. You know how teams get in trouble for not putting stuff on their injury report that should be? I'm getting mad at the Chiefs for putting him on the injury report when he shouldn't be. I think that should be investigated. See, look at this fucking guy. No. See, fuck this guy. Fuck this guy, man. Hold on.
Hey. Oh, damn it. Got my dogs all excited too.
Look at fucking this Jackson Mahomes wannabe just fucking strolling into fucking shitty Arrowhead Stadium. Walking like nothing happened. Whereas fucking last week he had to be carted off, had to be getting x-rays. I fucking hate this guy. This guy's the worst.
I hate him so goddamn much.
Top 5 worst humans of all time. And he's not 5.
Can we pivot to a tweet about Dylan Raiola? So I met up with the guy.
You mean Patrick Mahomes' is hero?
Yes. So I met up with the guy last night at the bar, and he made a tweet about I almost said Patrick Mahomes about Dylan Raiola giving away or signing stuff or doing the stuff for the kids, and he was like reading books or whatever. Yeah. Anyway, so
is that the one you're talking about?
No, he made a fake tweet about it was like Dylan Raiola is sitting up there and these kids are coming up to him and he said Dylan Raiola is making these kids spend $500 for his signature. And they're using their lunch money and shit, like they're paying in quarters. And like he got so much traction on that. And someone's like, "What's your source? What's your source?" He's like, "I'm the janitor." It's like, can you imagine this motherfucker charging kids $500 for his autograph?
And that is what Mahomes would do.
It was obviously a falsified tweet, but I thought it was funny.
I don't see any evidence where it's false. I think it's just something Patrick Mahomes would do. So Dylan Raiola got confused and he's like, "Well, do I have to do this?" And he's like, and then he gave their money back because he's a good guy, whereas Patrick Mahomes would have kept their money and asked for more.
Yeah, he would have kept it and went straight to Nebraska Furniture Mart and bought another TV.
Mm-hmm.
A TV that has fucking the Chargers quarterback on it. You look up any TV that is like OLED or whatever, it's always got what's his name on it? The fucking Chargers quarterback.
Justin Herbert.
It's got Justin Herbert.
That's true. I just bought a TV recently and it had that motherfucker on the front.
That's true. Facts. I am the TV. I'm the source. I am the TV. It has it on there.
I think we lost Brandon. Trevor, this just in, breaking news. I was just at this into the news desk. I understand that you went to a matching sweater party with grown men you don't know, a bunch of grown men you do not know. Can you please tell me the circumstances behind that? What happened there? How did that happen, and why?
So this was a planned party by my wife and her friends, and it was a ruse. Honestly, it was a ruse, a coup. Hijinks were held. Wool was pulled over my eyes, which doesn't happen.
Literally.
Yeah. Seriously. So she's like, "It's ugly Christmas party," and I'm like, "Okay, I'll just wear like a Broncos, sweater."
All right, dickhead.
That's the ugliest thing I own. So he goes, "Yeah, we got this. Just wear this." I'm like, "It's a Home Alone." She's like, "We've been watching a lot of Home Alone. It's like your favorite movie." I watched it once, and she's like, "It's your favorite movie." I'm like, "Whatever." Guys are so simple that we're just like, "Hey, you bought the sweater for me. I'm gonna wear it. I don't have to think." Fine. So she's pushing me to fucking put this thing on, but I'm handling fucking meat. I'm doing all this stuff. I don't want to wear it because I don't want to get it.
Boy, always handling meat.
I always got meat. So I'm like, I can't. I don't want to wear it. Well, in comes another couple.
Hold that thought. I gotta catch Brandon up. So this just into the news desk. Trevor Murphy went to a matching sweater party with a bunch of grown men he does not know. He's telling me the circumstances behind said party now. Go ahead, Trevor.
Wool over my eyes. Hijinks were made. Anyways, caught you up. So in comes a couple and another couple, and they're wearing this fucking Home Alone sweater. I'm like, what the fuck? So then I'm like, they got us. So then I had to put mine on. And then here comes another goober wearing his and another goober. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So, yeah, they got us. Now, did we give them the reaction that they wanted? No, but I wasn't very happy.
So basing off of what you said in the story, and just a kind of a summary here, Emily bought you a sweater, your wife. You guys went to this party, and it turns out all the other wives bought their significant others the same sweater and made you guys all wear them at the same time.
Yeah, we were hosting the party, so they all walked in wearing said sweater.
Oh, so it was at your house. So you could have went and changed, but instead you put yours on once you saw the other grown men you don't know wearing those sweaters, and you're like, I got to fit in. I got to make sure these guys think I'm cool. So it sounds like you're the only one who voluntarily wore that sweater, I think is what I'm trying to say.
No, everyone else. Everyone had a choice not to wear it, but it's just like I didn't want to take it off because underneath I'm wearing, like a jersey, and I'm wearing my basketball shorts just in case I have to go play, a game of pickup. So I didn't want to take it off again because I didn't want people to think I was going to, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. I know what you mean. Brandon, you know what he means. Brandon, you know what he means?
So yeah, I got played like a fiddle.
Sorry. No, I now know how Adam Schefter feels because I feel like I'm just Tyler's mouthpiece here, and I'm not getting a cut of any of his deals because Tyler's just telling me what to say when he's just not here. So Tyler, get on the podcast if you got stuff to say to Trevor. It was something about St. Patty's Day, this, and having to wear it that. I don't know. I don't know. I can't read,
dude. Yeah, he was mad. Just leave me alone. God damn.
Let me live. I'm trying to breathe, man. I love it.
Yeah, I got played.
I mean, it sounds exciting. I'm happy for you.
Well,
I'm happy that you got to experience that with a bunch of random strangers. Did you? Well, that's good. You guys should have just went to the garage and just turned on heavy metal music and just hung out in there. That would have taught them. That would have fucking taught all the ladies.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Would have been fucking sick.
Well, I actually never saw the photo. God damn, these fucking dogs. So I never actually saw the photo, but I heard it was kind of disgusting. And it
can you find the photo before we get off of this podcast?
I don't.
I need to see this photo.
To internet.
Your wife. Your wife has it. Can you please tell her to text it to you so we can get it on this fucking podcast? Yeah, come on. Thank you. Brandon, the Falcons bench Cousins. It sounds like they're going to part ways with him in the offseason. Do you think it was a little foolish to give a 30? How old was he? Was he 36, 37-year-old quarterback, $90 million guaranteed, less than 6 months after he tears his Achilles?
In hindsight, that would appear to be the case. Because I think the fair analysis of Kirk Cousins going into this year is, I know he's coming off his Achilles, but he can't be any less athletic, right? He already was just a statue in the pocket. Now, actually, he can be way less athletic somehow. He goes from being the least athletic quarterback in the NFL to the least athletic NFL wider margin, which I didn't think was possible. So, in hindsight, that was probably not a great move.
Yeah. So Michael Penix Jr. gets his first start in the NFL. With the playoffs on the line. They have 3 weeks left to go to win the NFC South and to make the playoffs. So here you go, young buck. Hop on in there. I don't know. I'm rooting for Michael Penix. I'm actually not rooting for Michael Penix because if he performs better than Bo Nix over these next 3 games, I'm going to be upset. And I guess that's just the way it is. I don't know. I don't have any other analysis besides that. I don't think it's going to go well. I think this is just throwing him into the fire. Sink or swim moment, and I don't think this is very fair to him, but that's just the way it is right now because like you said, they took the least athletic guy in the league and somehow they found a way to make him more unathletic, and it's been bad, especially these past few weeks, but it's been bad pretty much all year. And the Broncos not too long ago shit down his fucking neck too. It was tough. It's tough to see a king go out, but hey, he's made $321 million in his career, so kudos to him. Money. I saw this NFL Insider, and it's so funny that this is not this is a ESPN Plus story, but you don't have to pay for it because it's just ranking the worst mistakes for all 32 NFL teams since 2020. I want to ask you guys where you think your respective teams fall in this list. Trevor, where do you think the Steelers fall for for the biggest mistakes made by any team since 2020?
2020. Biggest mistakes was letting Ben Roethlisberger retire. Honestly, biggest mistake I've ever heard. He should have played well into his 60s. I think he had it in him. I don't know. It's honestly a tragedy because he had the weapons. He could recruit guys. He was going door to door selling candy bars, trying to get players on his team. And I just don't think they should have let him go to retirement. It's just sad.
Where do you think that ranks is in the NFL? So 32 being the not worst decision, 1 being the worst decision.
I'd put him top 10 in bad decisions because have they made the Super Bowl since he's left? No.
Buddy, I have a secret for you. This might be tough to hear. They haven't made the Super Bowl in fucking quite some time.
Yeah, because Ben Roethlisberger's not playing for him.
That's true. Actually, so the writer almost you actually weren't far off. The writer who wrote this, I'll give him his credits. Bill Barnwell. He ranks them only the 30th worst mistake, and the biggest
mistake.
Using a first-round pick on Kenny Pickett in 2022.
I forgot about this. See, I blocked all that off. I didn't.
But it comes off the heels of Ben Roethlisberger retiring, so you're not far off. So you were pretty close there.
Who's this fucking goober saying this? Who's this saying this?
That's a real Bill Barnwell. I have no idea, dude.
Okay, it's not the worst mistake, right? It's not it's number 30, right, out of 32. So.
Brandon, do you see this text message? Can you get it up? Can you get it up on the stream somehow, please?
Very cute.
Very cute.
Well, he figures that out. Brandon, what do you think the Broncos rank on this list? And we know what the worst mistake was.
The last 5 years, and so the Broncos drafting Bradley Chubb instead of Josh Allen is outside of the statute limitations here, right?
Yep. Thank God, because that would have been. I forgot. I blocked that out.
I mean, it would be the rush trade.
Mm-hmm.
And that's got to be top. And the extension, I guess. Top 2, I guess. I would guess that would be top 2.
Top 2, and it's not 1. You're fucking spot on. Yeah, but it's trading for and extending Russell Wilson, so it's compounding mistakes. Biggest mistake, the trade for Russell Wilson at the time, but you don't need me to explain how it panned out. The Broncos sent 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, 3 players. Oh, my God, it's so much worse. It's so much worse than I remember. Yeah, so on top of that, we gave him a massive extension, and now we're $60 million in the hole. But, hey, you know what? We got Bo Nix out of it, so I would argue that it might be the best trade that's ever happened in NFL history. Thoughts?
It worked out.
Got Sean Payton, got Bo Nix, and now we go. Now we're moving forward. This is people forget this is a roster that was no names. Like they were ranked last in the league from Pro Football Focus as far as talented rosters. We're right there at the 7th seed in the playoff hunt, and nobody saw this coming. And I feel pretty good about the future moving forward.
I would argue that Nathaniel Hackett was a worse decision than Russell Wilson.
That actually isn't a bad take because Nathaniel Hackett, in effect, ruined Russell Wilson for the world.
And I think we're seeing that now. Like he's done a very fine job with the Steelers. Like he's not as bad of a quarterback. He's never been as bad of a quarterback as he was with Nathaniel Hackett. And then, of course, you have to get rid of Nathaniel Hackett, make a sweeping change, and then you get Sean Payton, who has a vendetta against Russell Wilson.
Fucking hated him, dude.
Fucking hated him. And he still had a pretty good season. So, trading for Russell Wilson was not the problem in that scenario. Because I think if we get Russell Wilson and then hire Kevin O'Connell, who we had in the building before he got swindled by Nathaniel Hackett, the world is very different.
Yeah. No, that's facts. I think you're spot on. And this is a podcast that, at least 75% of this podcast, maybe it's less than that, have really shit on George Payton and the shitty fucking job he's done. I shared a tweet with you the other day that kind of helps that or just kind of changes that narrative for me a little bit. Where did it go? It might have been taken down. I don't know. I can't remember. But it was basically, it was somebody. The original tweet was walking up to George Payton, and it was somebody just pulling a gun out and just shooting a fucking target a bunch of times. And that same person quote tweet is like, "How can I take this back?" And yeah, that's how I feel about it. So it's yeah, no, it was really bad. It was really bad. The biggest mistake, obviously, the Cleveland Browns trading for Deshaun Watson, signed to a $230 million guaranteed contract. That's hilarious. Fucking so funny. The Jets trading for Aaron Rodgers. Turns out if you trade it, well, I'm sensing a trend. If you trade for a quarterback and pay him a ton of money, it's not going to work out for you.
I mean, when the quarterbacks
Niners trading up for Trey Lance. Oh man.
But again, I would have guessed Aaron Rodgers would have been one, but Deshaun Watson deserves to be there.
It's bad. Yeah, Deshaun Watson, bad. Number 6 is hiring Urban Meyer. Houston Texans trading DeAndre Hopkins to the Cardinals. Atlanta Falcons signing Kirk Cousins to a 4-year, $180 million contract. New England Patriots hiring Matt Patricia and Joe Judge. I have a feeling that the hiring of Gerard Mayo is going to be up there here pretty soon. I don't think he's long for this world. I don't think he's going to be the New England Patriots head coach moving forward. So I think that's going to be hilarious to see how that plays out. And hey, Trevor, if the biggest mistake for the Steelers was drafting Kenny Pickett, at least you got a second-round pick for Chase Claypool, who is he even in the league anymore?
Chance? No. Maybe. I don't know. He might be on a practice squad. That's another name that I've blocked off. But, he was the dynamic duo with Juju. And Juju's probably made more money on TikTok revenue and YouTube revenue than he has in the league. He's probably better at Fortnite than he is playing on the Steelers. But he did score a touchdown for the Chiefs the other day. I saw that headline, big headline. And I was kind of upset because he couldn't, do that for us. So, I mean, he did score, but what a bust.
What a bust. Brandon, did you find a way to get that picture on screen?
No, I'm using a different computer, so I gave up on it pretty quick.
Okay,
That's
hold on.
fine.
Let me email.
No,
I'll email it to myself. No, don't worry, Trevor. I got it. I'll email it to myself.
It's perfect.
No, don't worry. I got it. I'll email it to myself. Trying to think. What's next we had? Oh, did you guys see that the Commanders had an option? So, I mean, getting into politics, this is a politic podcast. We talk about politics all the time. In the latest continuing resolution debates, the control of RFK Stadium was given back to. So, basically, the federal government controls the old Commanders / Redskins stadium sites, RFK Stadium here in Washington, D.C. The federal government owns the control of that land. In the most recent debate for the continuing resolution that passed through Congress last night, the federal government was giving the land back to DC, and then in the renegotiation, the federal government said, "Actually, no, we want it." And then the federal government gave it back again, and then they took it back, and then in a separate vote, they just gave it back to DC. So in a confusing turn of events, the Commanders have a chance to finally return to DC, where some say they belong, and I thought that was interesting, so I thought I'd include it in the podcast.
So they don't play in the state of Washington?
They play in Landover, Maryland, which is just outside of the city limits of Washington, D.C.
Okay. I got tickets to next year's Steelers versus Washington Commanders, and I just booked a flight to the state of Washington. So I thought,
buddy,
it's
better
very
get
confusing.
ready for Maryland.
It's very confusing. So
get ready to learn Maryland, buddy.
I wish-
You mean Merlin? Get ready to learn Merlin, buddy.
Yeah. Well, I made a mistake. Oh well.
And this is the picture everyone's been waiting for. This is what we're all been talking about. This is the picture that Trevor Murphy, like, he literally, as soon as he saw all these boys coming over, he literally ran upstairs, put on the sweater, and it's like, "Hey, no guys, I'm here. I'm cool."
Can we put black eye on these guys? These are my Afghanistan brothers. We fought in war together. And
what are their names? What are their names?
I would like them to be blacked out so no one can see their eyes.
You didn't give permission to be seen on this podcast.
Nobody watches the podcast, dude.
Whoa, there's 3 people watching the podcast, first and foremost. Second off, that's too bad. That's too damn bad. I work in the media. We don't give a fuck about any of that.
Put black eye mask over the dogs, too. They don't need to be shown either.
Sounds like you just want blackface on everybody. Why is that?
I was like, you're really trying to get us canceled before we get started.
He's Trevor Murphy, Mr. Blackface. Everyone knows that. That's what everyone calls him, Mr. Blackface. The Justin Trudeau of podcasting, some would say. Yeah, no, you guys look cute. You guys look cute together. I'm happy for your new friendship, your new bond with your brothers. This is good for you. I'm happy.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. We're starting another podcast too. It's only NBA podcast with these guys.
Speaking of that, coming up here shortly, Trevor Murphy's going to be giving his NBA talk.
No,
actually, hey, do you want to Trevor? You want to get into it right now?
It'll probably take 5 minutes. Honestly, it's the fastest 5 minutes.
Okay. Okay, hold on. Let me introduce you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the start of a new segment. We've been talking college football. We've been talking NFL. We talk a little hockey sometimes. Now, Mr. Big Trevor Murphy, what has he ever done? He's got AIDS, and he's got NBA talk. He's right here, Mr. NBA, Patrick Ewing, Trevor Murphy. Trevor Murphy, tell us about the NBA. What's going on? What's the state of the league as it is right now?
Okay, so I read some of the top highlights because actually I watched all the games, but I just wanted to write a few things down that I noticed. So basically, Joel Embiid's return, he got 34 points. Can you believe that? Mitchell, 27 points versus the Bucks.
Money.
LeBron, big headline. Old as hell. Okay. Steph Curry scored 0 points.
Ooh.
He sucks? I don't know. I thought that Wemby played for a soccer team. Clarkson squared up, got ejected. You're out. You're done, buddy. Cavs, Okoro out 2 weeks with shoulder. That's a big one. And then my last headline, who actually has a poster, right? So if you get posterized, do they actually make posters out of it anymore? Do they actually, put them on a poster? Do kids actually hang them on their ceilings and look at them every night and be like, hey, I want to be that guy in the future? Like, oh, I just posterized this guy. Does it go on a poster? Did you guys ever have a poster of someone getting dunked on with the nuts swinging in their face?
I can't say that I have.
So do we change the term to just he got dunked on or he got, slam dunked on?
Well, then what would be the appropriate poster? Like what would you have up above your bedroom right now?
I would have
that picture of everybody in a sweater. Hold on, let me pull that up again so everyone can see it.
That's a poster.
This is going to be above Trevor. This is going to be above Trevor and Emily's bed for the rest of their lives.
I think Trevor would like the blackface version better.
Oh,
yeah, no, don't worry. We'll do that in post. We'll do that in post.
I want this hanging above my bed. Can anyone guess who that is?
Hold on, turn around again. You.
Oh, wait. It's me in blackface.
Wait a second. I know that guy.
So that's just some of the thoughts that I had. Do we know who this Wemby guy is, though? Honestly,
Never heard of him.
did he play for a soccer team? I thought.
You mean the 7'5" how tall is he? 7'6", 7'5", 7'5". The 7'5" foot freak thought he played soccer. He's just French.
He's a French guy. Okay. Well, yeah, Wemby scores 42 points in Spurs overtime victory over the Hawks. Any thoughts on that? As a soccer player.
That's a pretty good stat line against the Hawks.
Yeah, he scored 42 points for basketball. So I think we got, a really good player on our hands here. I think that I actually don't know what's going on with the World Cup, basketball World Cup thing. But if someone could fill me in on that, I'd like to do some deep dive research.
There's a basketball World Cup somewhere. You may begin your research.
Okay.
All right, buddy. That was NBA talk. Honestly, that went way better than I ever could have imagined. Trevor, you fucking knocked out of the park.
Get ready to do that in this thing.
Dude, you look great. Like, get ready to do that every single week because that was fucking thrilling. I was exhilarated the entire time.
Goosebumps.
Dude, that was the best analysis out of anything we fucking said on this stupid fucking podcast today.
You didn't give me any headlines to go off of. I thought maybe you'd have like another separate list, but
no. I just kind of wanted to give. I literally told you last night. So Brandon, last night I texted Trevor. I said, "Hey, are you going to be on the show tomorrow?" He said, "Well, I'm going to try." He's like, "Well, if you're not, no worries. Like, it's not that we're worried about." But I thought it'd be hilarious if you just became a resident NBA guy. I don't necessarily want you to watch any games. I just want you to read the headlines and come up with just opinions. And that's just, that was better than I could have ever imagined.
I won't watch any NBA games. And the reason is that they're fucking boring. I will watch some college basketball games, but NBA is dribble, foul, shoot, foul. And then the crowd goes crazy. It's over. It's like, what a boring ass fucking game. But Steph Curry not scoring any points in his most embarrassing game as a
washed
Golden State Warrior. I think he's washed. I think they're going to fire him. I think that he's done. I don't think that he's proved himself. And with that game, I don't think that they're going to re-sign him. So that's just my final thoughts.
So could this be the last we see of Steph Curry in a Golden State Warriors uniform?
Yeah. So buy your jerseys now. Because this is the last time he's ever going to wear one.
I love it. We're going to leave it. I think we got to leave it off there. I don't have anything else. Brandon, do you?
No, it'll only be downhill from here.
Yeah, this has been a terrific show, boys.
That was thirsty.
I want everyone to do me a favor. Sound off in the comments. Let me know if you think they should change the name of posterizing or posters to something else and what you think they should change it to. And should Trevor Murphy really be so cavalier about doing blackface on a sweater picture?
If Cavaliers, LeBron is old as hell. So
he's not on the. You know what? You knew that. You're an NBA guy. Resident NBA insider Trevor Murphy joining us. Brandon Shanahan joining us. Tyler Sprinkle on the toilet somewhere, somehow. Thank you guys. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We'll be back next week. This is Sundays with the Sprinkles on Sun Valley Sports Media. Thank you guys so much. And as I look for this banner, any final words, boys?
Go Big Red.
Go Big Steelers.